Hello, and welcome back to The Abstract. Today, we'll be describing for you the horrifying 1991 movie, Silence of the Lambs. Shocking things happen. Watch to the end to find out. The only thing we love more than movies is you. Please subscribe. Promising FBI Academy student Clarice Starling is pulled from her training at the FBI training facility at Quantico, Virginia, by Jack Crawford of the FBI's Behavioral Science Unit, who tasks her with presenting a VICAP questionnaire to the notorious Dr. Hannibal Lecter, a brilliant forensic psychiatrist and incarcerated cannibalistic serial murderer. After learning the assignment relates to the pursuit of vicious serial killer Buffalo Bill, Starling travels to the Baltimore State Hospital for the criminally insane, and is led by Dr. Frederick Chilton to Hannibal Lecter, a sophisticated, cultured man restrained behind thick glass panels and windowless stone walls. Although initially pleasant and courteous, Lester grows impatient with Starling's attempts at dissecting him and viciously rebuffs at her. As Starling departs, another patient flings fresh semen onto her face. Enraging Lecter, who calls Starling back and offers a riddle containing information about the former patient. The solved riddle leads to a rent-a-storage lot, where the severed head of Benjamin Raspel is found. Starling returns to Lecter, who links Raspel to Buffalo Bill, and who offers to help profile Buffalo Bill if he is transferred to a facility far from the venomous careerist, Dr. Chilton. Hours and miles away, Buffalo Bill abducts Katrine Martin, the daughter of United States Senator Ruth Martin. Starling is pulled from Quantico and accompanies Crawford to West Virginia, where the body of Bill's most recent discovered victim resides. In the plane taking them to the town, Crawford asks Starling what she sees in the file on Buffalo Bill. She says that Bill is a male, definitely white, and that he's getting better at his work since he's developed a taste for it. At the coroner's office, Starling helps perform the autopsy and extracts the chrysalis of a deathhead's hawk moth from the victim's throat. When the victim is turned over for further examination, they find that diamond-shaped strips of flesh have been flayed from the body. Having already spoken to Lecter about how Bill flays his victims, this detail is recorded by Starling. At Quantico, as news of Katrine Martin's abduction sweeps the country, Crawford authorizes Starling to offer Hannibal Lecter a fake deal, promising a prison transfer if he provides information that helps profile Buffalo Bill, and rescues Katrine Martin. Instead, Lecter begins a game of quid pro quo with Starling, offering comprehensive clues and insights about Buffalo Bill in exchange for events from Starling's traumatic childhood. Unaware to both Starling and Lecter, Dr. Frederick Chilton tapes the conversation, and after revealing Starling's deal as a sham, offers to transfer Lecter in exchange for a deal of his own, making one that will make Chilton out as a hero for identifying and tracking down Buffalo Bill. Lecter agrees, and following a flight to Tennessee, reveals Buffalo Bill's real name, physical description, and past address to Senator Martin, and her entourage of FBI agents and Justice Department officials. He also insults Martin openly, asking about her breastfeeding of her daughter. Martin orders Lecter back to Baltimore when he spills Buffalo Bill's identity information. As the manhunt begins, Starling travels to Lecter's special cell in a local Tennessee courthouse, where she confronts him about the false information he gave to the senator. Lecter refuses Starling's plea and demands she finish her story surrounding her worst childhood memory. After recounting her arrival at a relative's farm, the horror of discovering their lamb slaughterhouse, and her fruitless attempts at rescuing the lambs, they screamed as they were being slaughtered, a memory that has haunted Starling her whole life. Lecter rebuffs her, leaving her with her case file before she is escorted out of the building by security guards. As she reaches for the file, he touches one of her fingers. Later that evening, Lecter escapes from his cell. his two minders distracted by having to move his sketches and tricking them into approaching him too closely. The local police storm the floor, discovering one guard barely alive and the other disemboweled and strung up on the bars of Lecter's cage like an angel. Paramedics transport the survivor to an ambulance and speed off while a SWAT team searches the building for Lecter. As the team discovers a body on top of the elevator car, the survivor in the ambulance peels off his own face, revealing Lecter in disguise, who kills the paramedics and escapes to the airport. After being notified of Lecter's escape, Starling pores over her case file, analyzing Lecter's annotations before realizing that the first victim, Frederica Bimmel, knew Bill in real life before he killed her. Starling travels to Bimmel's hometown and discovers that Bimmel was a tailor and has dresses with templates identical to the patches of skin removed from Buffalo Bill's victims. Realizing that Buffalo Bill is a tailor, fashioning a woman's suit of real skin, she telephones Crawford, who is already on the way to make an arrest. Having cross-referenced Lecter's notes with Johns Hopkins Hospital and finding a man named James Gumb, Crawford instructs Starling to continue interviewing Bimmel's friends while he leads a SWAT team to Gumb's business address in Calumet City, Illinois. Starling's interviews lead to the house of Jack Gordon, whom Starling soon realizes is actually Gumb, and draws her weapon just as Gumb disappears into his basement. Starling pursues him in the basement, which consists of several rooms, discovering a screaming Katrine Martin in the dry well. The lights in the basement suddenly go out, leaving her in complete darkness. Gumb stalks Starling in the dark with night vision goggles and prepares to shoot her when Starling, hearing the clicks of his drawing back the hammer on his revolver, swivels around and shoots Gumb dead. Days later, at the FBI Academy graduation party, Starling receives a phone call from Hannibal Lecter, now in the Bahamas. As Lecter assures Starling he has no plans to pursue her, he excuses himself from the phone call, remarking that he's having an old friend for dinner, before hanging up and following Dr. Chilton through the streets of the village. Thank you for watching Movie Abstract. We hope we've helped you in experiencing this if you could not before. If you've made it this far, please help us and subscribe, leave a like, and hit that bell icon. We really need it. See you in another video, and take care.